Cause you never know what tomorrow brings in this crazy life. Hey, this life, this life.
I think we've done it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have done it. After playing Templar for as long as we have, and finally figured out a build that actually works. It's a miracle. Oh my goodness. The damage is great, the healing is great, the tankiness is great, and the team group play is amazing. You can solo, you can group, you can play CP, you can play no CP. I think we have finally done it. I haven't been able to play a Templar build that works, and I finally think this one works. We're able to do so much with this build. I really think it's going to work. Let's get into it. What's going on, YouTube? It's Barba223 back with another video. As I said in the intro, we've been putting so much time into this build, trying to figure it out. It took me forever to play Templar. I sucked at it for the longest time, I'll be real with you. I think I figured it out. It's not even that much different from my Magic Necro build, but it's going to make the biggest difference. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. So when we look at the character screen, right? We're looking at, on the front bar, almost 2k spell damage. 34,000 magic, 20,500 health, 1,400 recovery, which is better than that. I'll tell you why. Resistance is 16 and 9 when we are buffed. We are at 25 and 18, and then on the back bar, 28 and 21. That's really solid. We're 1,900 spell damage before we're even buffed. We are a Breton on this build, which is crucial. I will also tell you why. We're also running the Apprentice Munderstone, which for spell damage, very important, or you could also run the Atronach. Does not matter, either one is solid. So here's the character screen. We're also running stage 1 vampirism, so we can minimize the cost increase, but also get the bonuses, which is misform. So that is the character screen. Now let's get into the gear. So on the front bar, we're running the Vatestrand's Lightning Staff. The Lightning Staff is key. You can also use Flame, but Lightning Staff's the best for Templar because we use AoE abilities as our spammable, aka Puncturing Sweep. So you get 8% damage bonus for using it. Let's see. I'll show you if I can find it. Equipping a Lightning Staff increases your damage done with AoE abilities by 8%, so you're almost getting Major Berserk on that skill. Incredible. So, as the monster set, we're using Engine Guardian, probably my favorite monster set right now. You can get either health, stamina, or magic recovery, and on top of that, you spawn an Atronach right here that you can hide behind. So it gives you line of sight for any time you want it, really. That's amazing. I mean, you can also run Bloodspawn here, you can also run Grothdar here, you can also run Zanj, you can also run Valken, or even Balorg. All of those are good options. I like Engine Guardian because we're wearing 5 light, we're wearing 1 heavy, 1 medium, and 5 light on the body. Engine Guardian shoulder, medium. And then on the 5 pieces on the body, we're running Shacklebreaker. We are running 2 pieces infused. I'm sorry, 3 pieces in pen. I don't know why I said infused. 3 pieces in pen, 2 pieces well fitted. I think well fitted is going to be amazing next patch because of the roll dodge decreased cost for each piece. So I think it's going to be even better than it is now. I've been struggling with light armor, but with Shacklebreaker you get extra stamina, so you can roll dodge even more. The 2 pieces stam recovery, the 3 pieces magic recovery, the 4 pieces spell damage and weapon damage, and the 5 pieces 2,000 of each resistance. If you get these gold, that goes up even higher. Purple is fine because gold is very expensive and not worth it in my opinion. Just get the weapons gold. On the front bar, again, I forgot to mention, for Vatestrand's Lightning Staff, try to not have charged. It's not good. I had this because of my DK. I would either use Nirnhone, Sharpen, or Infuse, but specifically Sharpen or Nirnhone, they're the 2 best. On the back bar, we're just having a Resto Staff. I think Resto Staff's the best right now. You can go One-Handed Shield or a Frost Staff, but I think Resto Staff's better because of rapid regen. And with willpower, you're going to get 1,700 magic on the back bar, which just makes your heals better. We're running defending because we're in light armor. You can also use powered, but I'd like defending right now. And make sure you use a weapon damage enchant to buff your heals. So that's the weapons. So for the Shackle Breaker, I think this is very vital. You could run Crafty Alfiq. I think Shackle Breaker is better for sustain. Crafty Alfiq is also solid though. If you run Crafty Alfiq, I'd put more attributes into health. We're running 47 in magic, 17 in health. You could change this if you want to. Totally up to you. I think this is the perfect balance though. You want to have at least 20 to 23k health, especially in no CP. So that's not bad. Yeah. So we're running all magic enchants. If I could, I would get triglyphs on the big pieces, which would be legs, chest, and head, but also expensive. I don't feel like paying for it because I'm still testing the build out. So if you can get triglyphs on the head, chest, and legs again, definitely the best. Again, with the traits, you can either run all impen, you can run all well fitted. Even reinforced is solid, but I think well fitted is going to make a really nice come up next patch, especially with the light armor roll dodge change. I can go more in depth with this in another video, but I just think it's going to be really good. So on the jewelry, we're running a necklace of trainee, a ring of trainee. I'm sorry, this is blue. I'm trash. This needs to be purple or gold. Yeah, you'll get more stats. So you get 1300 health for the one piece, you get 1300 magic for the second piece, and it'll be better if you have 2 purple at least. But another thing is, if you can, get all your jewelry infused. Because I'm stuck right now using 2 magic recovery glyphs and 1 spell damage, but if you get all of them infused, you can go 2 spell damage and then 1 recovery. And then for the other ring, we're using Malacath. Malacath is the most OP thing in the game. It buffs everything. You don't need a crit. You don't have to worry about critting because you're going to get Malacath. Although Templar does get bonuses from crit damage, it's still not worth it in my opinion. I tried both. If you really, really want to use that crit damage, you can go Ring of the Wild Hunt right here. And you could change something on the skills. I'll show you. But you could use Ring of the Wild Hunt. Another thing is, if you don't even have mythic items, you could just run another piece of trainee. You could do 1 piece willpower here. That's another option. That way you get the 3 piece on your back bar. There's a couple things you could do, or you can go 2 willpower jewelry, or 3 willpower jewelry, and you could change this to like a maelstrom staff or any other magic staff or rest of staff that you want. It's up to you. But Malacath is very, very vital, so I would get this if you can. It's the best thing in the game currently, so, and I don't think that's going to change. So get this if you can. So let's get into skills. On the front bar, sorry I don't have a lot of skill points. This is a new character, and I made this character, leveled him up, and tested the build. I didn't even worry about skill points. I just got what I had to get. So there's a couple flex spots here, right? So there's a couple things you can change. So for one, Radiant Oppression is the one spot where I would say you can change stuff, right? So you can either do Radiant Oppression, which I have. I think this is really good because if you get someone even slightly low, you're gonna do ridiculous damage to them. Like you're gonna burst them. I've hit people for 1 tick for like 9k. So if that ticked all ticks, I'd be doing like 30k to someone. It's just so good. It's better than any finisher in the game, I think. But if you really don't want to use this, you could use right here. Or no, I'm sorry, not this. Purifying Light. So you put a beam above their head, you hit them, and it absorbs this damage and explodes for more, right? So the maximum says it's 20k, and I'm gonna tell you it's not. It's wrong. I don't know why. It just doesn't hit for more. I've never hit someone for more than like 3k with it, and that's trash in my opinion. So really, it's not great. You could also use this, not Solar Flare, but the other morph. You get Solar Barrage. That shoots the AoE around you. Gives you Empower too, so that one's solid. But I think having a finisher is so much more valuable. So I would use Radiant Oppression, but you can test it out yourself if you want. Degeneration for your spell damage. It's kind of a trash skill, but you need your major sorcery buff, so you get that for 20 seconds with Degeneration. You must grind Mage's Guild to level 4, or you have to use magic potions for your spell damage. That's totally up to you, but Degeneration's easier. Oh, I use it. Elemental Drain is a must for this build because of H-Strands. Right? When you when you use casting weakness elements, grants you a tether that does 3k damage a second, and it's overpowered as hell. So use that. If you don't have Vate Strands, what I would suggest doing is either using a willpower staff or changing trainee to. I would suggest saying maybe one piece willpower, that way, and then use a willpower staff. That way you get 3 pieces of willpower on both bars, and you get extra spell damage. So if you don't have Vate Strands, use a willpower lightning staff, use a willpower jewelry here, keep 1 piece of trainee. That's what you would do there. It's still solid. That way you get like 300 spell damage, and that's really good too. So top point charge, one of the best stuns in the game in my opinion, next to fossilize probably. But this one also closes a gap, and it actually does a lot of damage. 4k before Malakath and my sorcery buff, so probably like, I don't know, 6k. That's really good to me. Interrupts people too, and it's just a really good gap closer. It does damage, so it's solid. Needed, must skill. And then of course the skill that everyone hates seeing is Puncturing Sweep. It does a bunch of damage, it heals you, it does AoE, it snares people, it's, you know, it's bread and butter. With Malakath, it gets buffs a lot. It's really good. So, Crescent Sweep, I've been messing around with this a lot. Do AoE damage around you, do 60% more damage than people in front of you, which is good. It hits hard if you hit people in front of you. So, some people say it doesn't hit hard for them. I've hit like 7Ks with it on real people, so I don't know what they're talking about. I think it's really good. But if you really don't want to use it, if you think it's weird, I mean, it's cheap too, so. But if you don't like it, you can either use the Destro ult, or I would say use the Vamp ult, Blood Scion, or even worst case scenario, you can grind Mage's Guild and get Meteor if you really don't want to use the other one. I think Crescent Sweep's great though, my opinion. You know, but make sure you get all your passives, especially this one here, Mana Protection, for using just your spammable. Crit damage is useless, except the block damage is cool. But just make sure you get all your passives, right? You need them all. So, they're all good. One you can go without is this one. You don't need resurrection speed that much. I mean, it's cool, but who really resurrects that often in PvP unless you're a Zergling? So, and when you heal, and this one's good too. I just don't have enough skill points, so you know. So we're in the back bar. So we're using Channel Focus. This is probably the best armor move in the game. Not only does it give you armor major resolve for 20 seconds, it costs less than 1,000 magic. Amazing. And on top of that, you get 240 magic recovery every second while standing in it. And while standing in it, you get 50% extra resistances. So you're getting 6k, and if you stand inside of it, you're getting about 8,500 to 9k resistances just for standing in it, and you get 240 recovery. So let's say, oh, I'm in a fight, I come back here, stand in this, boom, you're getting a bunch of resistances, and your recovery is higher than by 240. Probably my favorite armor skill in the game. If you learn how to use this correctly, your tankiness shoots up exponentially. It's awesome. So just learn. I'll show you how to use it in my BG clips. You'll see it too. Extended Ritual is a must. Cleansing 5 harmful effects from yourself is just awesome. It gets rid of procs. It gets rid of Zon. It does not get rid of Vatastrand's elemental beam, but it gets rid of pretty much everything else. Any dot, any proc. Really nice to have. It does a heal. It helps your teammates. It gives them a synergy. Awesome skill. Expensive, so be careful, but if you have to use it, use it. Elusive Mist is the reason we are running Vampirism. You get Major Expedition. You pretty much are unkillable while you're in this. It only costs 800 a second, and you're immune to all immobilizations and disabling effects. It's pretty much your tankiness and running away from people, right? So if you have to create distance, you have to do line of sight, you have to do anything, use this. I'm not going to use this because I don't want to use a criminal act. But let's say you're in a fight right here, right? Boom, you're fighting, you're taking a lot of pressure, you pop Misform, you run around the corner right here, bang, this, cleanse, and you're right back in the fight. Pretty easy. So, Misform, Elusive Miss. You could also use Race Against Time here, don't get me wrong. Race Against Time from the Sigic Order is also very good. The movement speed is what I really wanted for it, so I might even try Race Against Time, so I don't have to like stop fighting. So that's a big on you. And that way, if you use Race Against Time, you don't have to have the cost increase. You don't take extra flame damage. You get more recovery, health recovery. So Race Against Time could be better, but as of right now, I'm using Elusive Mist. Honor the Dead is your bread and butter spammable heal. It's really good. And if you heal a teammate healing anyone under 75% health, you get 18% of the ability back every 2 seconds. I think this even counts as yourself. So if you're healing while you're low rather than spamming it when you're high, you get a lot of cost reduction on this skill. So use this when you need it. It's going to help you. It's amazing. The reason we are using a resto staff is because of rapid regen. It's so good. It's pretty much vigor for magic. You have to use it. Here, I've tried it without it. You just don't get enough healing. It's like, I don't know. It just seems like it's so powerful for me. Like if I'm in a fight, right, I get a lot of pressure on me. I cast my buffs, I use this, and that way I get essentially 5 seconds of being so offensive and not dying, right? Especially because puncturing sweep heals, so you're gonna get 5 seconds of be able to go fully offensive. That's how I see it. So right here, Remembrance, a couple different things. You could either use Blood Scion. So you could use Blood Scion. I personally want to use the Resto Ult. I just don't have it yet because I'm a scrub. It's better than this. So if you can get the Resto Ult Panakia, I don't know how to say it, use that instead. But this is still decent for when you're in a group. And you get major protection for 10 seconds. So, I mean, that's not too bad. It just sucks because people can just wail on you while you're in it. It's still not bad, though. But you could also just use Blood Scion or Resto Ult. It's still solid. That's pretty much everything. I mean, we're also for potions. We're using Tri-Stat. I'm almost out of them, but they're in my bank. I have to go get them. Tri-Stat. You can use health potions from Cyrodiil because they give you invisibility and mobilization immunity, I believe, or maybe even expedition. But those are good too. Tri-Stat's obviously the best potion for me. Here's the health potions I was talking about. You get health recovery, you go invisible, and you get immunity to disabling effects for 8 seconds. Really good one. And they're just cost AP, so they're easy to get. I'm not super try hard with potions. I know they make a big difference if you use this crazy expensive ones, but they're not worth it to me. It's just not. It's not even worth the sweat. So, and then for food, we're using Bewitched Sugar Skulls. It's the best. Don't use Witch Mother's Potent Brew, please. It's not good compared to this. It gets you recovery, but it's not worth losing the stamina. You need the stamina to roll, dodge, and survive. You're going to get wrecked if you use Witch Mother's Potent Brew. Trust me. So, CP, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to get into it. Only because, for one, I made a new account, so my CP isn't high. And two, there's a new update coming. I don't even feel like getting into it. It's not worth it. If you do need CP, there's a bunch of builds out there that show you it. So I apologize for that, but I'm not gonna. That's pretty much gonna be it. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. This build's really good in CP and non-CP. And the most important thing is, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because I'm trying to get my channel out there. I want to grow, and if you guys really want to support me, I would appreciate it. And I love and appreciate all the support you give me. Thank you so much. Let's keep doing it, and enjoy the gameplay. I have attached some at the end, so don't forget to watch and stay, okay? Have a good one, guys.
My thoughts end when I start to think. Oh, the time, how close it starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. to live again. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. Darkness that tried to swallow me. Some things I fall, but I hear your call. I pray I don't hit the ground. Gravity. 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 Gravity.